A billionaire found dead in his own mansion. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, just silence and betrayal. The cameras caught nothing, but one truth was clear. The killer wasn't a stranger. It was someone he loved, someone he trusted. That night, only 4 people were home: his wife, his brother, his sister, and the maid. One of them ended his life. But which one? Sunlight streamed through the light curtains of the obese penthouse in Lekki, casting a warm golden glow on the marble floor. The house looked peaceful and expensive, but beneath the beauty were cracks no amount of money could fix. It was a quiet kind of prison, shut off from the world outside, yet filled with unspoken tension. Kingsley Obi was 35 years old, wealthy from logistics and oil servicing, moved through life with the calm precision of a man who had weathered chaos and deliberately chosen quiet. He wore authority like a second skin, measured, steady, seldom shaken. But peace in his home, that was an illusion, glass thin and always on the verge of shattering. His wife Anna was 7 years younger, a serene beauty with modest roots and a gentler strength. She was soft-spoken, graceful, and devoted to the foundation she ran for widows and vulnerable girls. Kingsley cherished her deeply. Others did not. The tension began with Mike, Kingsley's older brother, jobless, bitter, entitled, a school dropout who wore failure like armor and carried the belief that the world owed him something. Then there was Joanne, the youngest sibling, striking, sharp-tongued, and permanently aggrieved. She resented Anna from the moment they met and made no effort to hide it. Then came that Sunday. At exactly 7:30 a.m., Tracy, the younger maid, approached Kingsley's door with warm water and fresh towels. When he didn't answer her knock, she nudged the door open and froze. Kingsley lay motionless on the bed, eyes open, lips parted in a faint smile. A thin line of white foam clung to the corner of his mouth. The sheets were barely rumpled, as though he had just lain down and drifted off. She called his name again, louder this time. No response. Panic blown in her chest. Then she screamed. Chaos followed. The ambulance pulled into the driveway at 7:45 a.m. Anna had called the moment Tracy raised the alarm. Neighbors gathered on balconies. Estate guards rushed to the gates. By the time paramedics wheeled him out, his skin was cool, his pulse absent. At the private hospital, 10 minutes away, he was declared dead on arrival. Time of death, estimated around 6 a.m. Preliminary cause, heroin overdose. Those who knew Kingsley were stunned. Heroin? He didn't even smoke, barely drank. Grief-stricken, overwhelmed and suspicious, Anna made one call to Juliet Muddy. Discreet, sharp-eyed, known for seeing what others missed. Juliet arrived quietly at 1:30 p.m., natural hair pulled into a bun, cream blouse, dark jeans, keen eyes that missed nothing. By then, the shock had begun to dull, replaced by whispers and pointed glances. The police were present, but treading carefully. A man like Kingsley didn't die without headlines. She stepped out of her car and scanned the scene, introduced herself to the officers, received a quick, cautious briefing. By 2:15 p.m., she began her interviews. She was late to the scene, but her instincts told her this one would unfold fast or spiral. At the threshold of the bedroom, Juliet paused. Just another case, she told herself. You don't need your gut, you need facts.
The room was too perfect. No signs of struggle, no vomit, no visible injection marks. Yet by the bed sat a velvet pouch, a capped syringe, a small vial, and a sealed alcohol swab. She knelt, gloved hands steady. The syringe appeared unused, the vial clean, the alcohol swab still sealed. Who injects heroin without wiping the skin first, unless they were desperate, or someone wanted it to look like they were? She turned the syringe toward the light, a faint shimmer inside the barrel. She photographed it, logged it, bagged it. In the living room, digging through a drawer of keys and takeout menus, she found a folded document. Name: Mike Obi. Charge: heroin possession, 2019. Outcome: arrested, released, no conviction. Her brow furrowed. Mike? Heroin? What was this report doing here? It felt staged, too convenient, like someone deliberately placed it here hoping she would find it. She interviewed the staff. Deborah, the senior maid, calm, measured. She said, 2 weeks ago, Oga Kingsley slapped Miss Joanne. Juliet blinked. Why? She asked. She insulted Madam Anna, called her a gold digger, said she was using Oga for money. And he hit her for that? Yes, right in the living room. He said anyone who disrespected Madame would leave. Juliet made a note. Loyalty breeds enemies. Daniel the steward was next, young, nervous. Anything unusual lately? She asked. He hesitated. Mike was in trouble gambling. Some bad people came here. They didn't come in, just waited outside. Kingsley saw them? Yes. Afterwards, he shouted at Mike, said he was putting us all in danger. I think he paid them off, told Mike to move out by the end of the month. Juliet's pen paused mid-note. 2 household members with motive. A heroin scene that didn't add up. She turned to the surveillance system. Cameras in every hallway, every entry point. Footage from that morning? File missing. System error. From 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Gone. It wasn't a glitch. It was a surgical deletion.
4 hours later, her phone buzzed. Preliminary toxicology report. She answered immediately. Talk to me. The lab tech's voice was brisk. Trace heroin residue in the syringe. But Kingsley's blood work? Clean. No heroin. Juliet froze. None at all. None. But we did find carfentanil traces. Barely detectable. Her pulse ticked up. Carfentanil? As in the elephant sedative. That's the one. Roughly 100 times stronger than fentanyl. A few nanograms can kill. Odorless, tasteless, and nearly impossible to detect unless you're looking for it. Her mind raced. Someone had planted the heroin as a distraction. Carfentanil was the real weapon. How was it introduced? Juliet pressed. Any injection sites? Nasal residue? Stomach contents? That's the odd part, the lab tech said. No visible puncture marks. Arms, neck, feet, all clean. No nasal irritation, no powder residue, stomach contents minimal and clean. No capsules or pill fragments. Juliet exhaled slowly. So, no ingestion, no injection. Could it have been absorbed through the skin? Unlikely. That can only happen with prolonged direct contact. But his skin was intact, dry, no stains or patches. Inhalation, she asked. The silence on the line was answer enough. If vaporized in a closed space, the tech said, he wouldn't know he was breathing it. Wouldn't take much. Juliet's heart pounded. Then I need to look for a diffuser, humidifier, anything that emits mist. And Juliet,
If it was aerosolized, anyone who entered that room may be at risk, the lab tech warned. "I understand," she said, and hung up. She remasked, regloved, and re-entered the room. Her eyes scanned the room. And there it was, on the nightstand, a diffuser. She leaned in, snapped photos. A faint scent lingered. Warm, woody, minty. Midnight cedar mist, a rich man's fragrance. But behind it, something else. Something sharp, too clean. Cover scent, she thought. Deliberate, designed. She lifted the diffuser carefully, sealed it in a biohazard evidence bag, examined the nozzle under the lamp. A faint, oily sheen. Not just water. Stepping back into the corridor, she dialed. "Seal the room," she told the estate's head of security. "No one goes in until it's cleared for airborne toxins. Anyone who entered after 6 a.m., even briefly, is to be isolated and tested. No exceptions." She ended the call, the weight of the case pressing heavier now. She moved back to the corridor. 2 paintings lined the walls, one slightly askew. She tilted it. Behind it, the wiring to the camera system. The screws were loose. Camera interference was manual. Someone accessed his system and they knew where the blind spots were.
Mike Obi hadn't slept. Not really. He dozed off around 4 a.m. on the living room couch, a bottle of whiskey clutched loosely in one hand. The news of Kingsley's death had hit the house like an earthquake. But it was Mike who looked the most shaken. He lit a cigarette with shaky fingers and stepped out onto the balcony. The Lekki skyline stretched beyond, but his eyes didn't focus. All he saw was his brother's face, frozen in that damned half-smile. "Fentanyl," he scoffed under his breath. How did he get into his system? The whole thing stank. Not just because he knew Kingsley wasn't a druggie, and that was not the kind of drug anyone knowingly ingested. He also knew, without a shadow of doubt, that someone was setting him up. That damn police report. The one from 2019. Heroin possession. Dismissed. Buried. How the hell had it resurfaced? He had told only one person in this house about the heroin charge. He turned sharply as footsteps approached. Joanne, wrapped in a silky robe, stood barefoot near the balcony doors. Her eyes were red, but Mike could tell she hadn't been crying, just pretending to. He asked, too tired to mask his disgust. "Still pretending to grieve?" She sneered. "Coming from the one who owed half of Lagos, please." Mike took a long drag, exhaling slowly. "You told someone about the heroin charge." "Excuse me?" "Don't play dumb, Joanne. I told you in confidence. Now it's in a police file in Juliet Modi's hands." She crossed her arms. "Maybe you should worry less about what people are saying and more about the fact that your brother is dead." His voice dropped, cold and deliberate. "You hated him." "So did you." "No, I envied him. You hated him because he put you in your place." She moved closer, her voice low and dangerous. "I hated him because he was always on her side. But that doesn't mean I killed him." Mike turned away. He couldn't look at her anymore, but the guilt kept tightening its grip around his throat. He hadn't killed Kingsley, he swore. He hadn't. But most people didn't believe that. 3 weeks ago, he'd met with those debt collectors in a bar along Ikeja Road, and Kingsley had bailed him out again. But this time, it came with a warning. "This is the last time, Mike. Next time, I'll let them deal with you."
Now Kingsley was dead, and he was the prime suspect. He stubbed out the cigarette and stepped inside, heart pounding. He needed to find something, anything, proof that someone else killed Kingsley. Maybe Juliet was sniffing in the right direction after all. Or maybe, just maybe, he'd have to beat her to the truth before someone else made him the next body in the house.
Joan Obi stared at her reflection, unmoving. Her silk robe clung to her frame, but her eyes, those cold, calculating eyes, told a different story. Not grief, not shock, something harder, sharper, rage. She pulled a brush through her long braids mechanically. In the mirror, she could still see the faint outline of the slap. Not on her face, but in her mind. It burned. Kingsley had slapped her in front of the maids because she'd called Anna what everyone knew she was, a schemer, a social climber with a saint's act. And Kingsley, blind fool that she was, had chosen her over blood. John never forgot a humiliation, and she certainly never forgave. Now he was dead, and everyone was whispering. She heard them, maids scurrying like rats, Juliet Modi's slow probing footsteps in the halls, Mike sulking like a wounded child. June glanced toward the doorway and crossed to her closet. From behind a row of stilettos and clutch bags, she pulled out her burner phone, the one Kingsley never knew she kept. She typed the quick message to the contact saved as Z. "You told me you would not kill him. That's not what this looks like." She stared at the screen. No reply. Not yet. Because even though she hadn't meant for Kingsley to die, she had set certain things in motion. Things she couldn't pull back. Maybe Anna wasn't the only one with a mask. And maybe Juliet Modi was smarter than she looked. Joan would have to stay ahead, watch everyone, keep her enemies close, especially the ones wearing grief like a veil. Because if Juliet Modi pulled too hard on the wrong thread, all of it would unravel, and she had far too much to lose.